What's up, Iceman and Rod Rodriguez? We are on the Zioke show. Welcome.
What up, buddy? You hear me? I'm good, good.
Yeah, loud and clear. Good audio.
All-
No problem.
Alrighty.
Good video too.
It's Thursday, right? So it's one of those
It
rare,
is.
rare days when we actually get to do the show and no last minute like cancellations.
I know. I got your
So
message and I was like, this would be like, can we do
it's
it
a miracle.
tomorrow? But it's like, oh, I'm okay now. I'm like, all right, can we do it 8:30? I'm like, all right. Then you sent me like, all right, I'm okay
Oh,
now. I'm like, all
dude,
right,
dude.
sure.
I have to clarify. Rod not getting paid is different from Rod getting paid. I'm sure Ice is the same way, right? I mean, there's a difference. Come on, right? I mean, if you're doing something because you love it, then you kind of wanna do it when you're inspired. You want to do it when you think you're really gonna have a great time doing it. But if it's work, that's why you get compensated because you have to do it even when you don't feel like doing it. That's my excuse, anyways. I don't know if people are buying it, but
Well, that's true though. That's
all right,
true.
right?
And I just got lucky when I was still there. And even up to now, I think I don't feel like it's actual work, right? Because I'm in an industry where I'm extroverted, right? So I'm an extrovert person. And when I was doing the medical representative thing and the radio DJ thing, and
Mm-hmm.
people thought that, hey, you work too hard. You work in the morning, you have a day job, then you also have a night job,
Mm-hmm.
and plus you do gigs. I'm like, dude, I can do those things for free.
You actually enjoy it, but don't tell them.
I'm like,
But don't tell them
like,
because
yeah, well, yeah, I know.
they
That's
will
what I'm
not pay
saying.
you.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, dude, yeah, I mean, it wasn't work. Like, I could go on for 24 hours a day, right?
That's
I
what
would
Chuck and
be,
I. That's what Chuck and I would talk about whenever we talk about you. I mean, contrary to what you might be assuming, whenever we talk about you, that's actually what we talk about. Ice would be like, "Dude, I love radio, but Ice, he's in a different level." I mean, like I told him, yeah, he's like he was like in tears when he knew that he had to leave the show and go to Japan. And like, really,
I
man, that's
know.
great. Because
Because,
that's
dude, I
Chuck,
mean,
right?
even up to now, I know things have changed with the pandemic and all. And if you actually look back, you would feel like, oh, we were undercompensated, right? I mean, we were not compensated properly
I
in
think
terms of
I think
how
90%
much
of
we
the
should be
people in the
getting.
Philippines are undercompensated.
I
We're
mean,
just
no, in
thankful.
terms of
We're just thankful that ours was a
in the
less
in the
tedious job,
in the
less tedious
industry that
job.
we are in, and the people who got paid so much more, and we
That's true.
think that, or we believe that we have so much more to offer, and we are actually giving out more. And the fact of the matter is, we're not getting even half as what they were getting. So it was you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
kind of frustrating, but in a way, that sort of experience that I had with radio and the medical representative thing and all the other jobs that I had, even the teaching,
Mm-hmm.
it was all of those things that I wanted to do. I'm the type of person who wouldn't do something that I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I didn't get a teaching job here, I would have left Japan a long time ago.
I
No
believe
doubt.
that. Knowing you,
Right?
I believe that.
I gave myself about a year. I was like, all right, I'm going to give myself about a year. If nothing happens in my life here, I would leave. Like, I don't care about the money. I don't care about the visa. I don't give a shit about that. And I was like, I'm just going to go home.
I believe
And I
that.
was just going to save some money and come back. So that's what I did. So I worked for Sony for about 6 months. And Sony was the easiest factory job that you can have here because it's electronics, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a time that I was just standing there and just like plugging in phones and unplugging them, right? And pass them on
Mm-hmm.
to the next person just
Mm-hmm.
to check if the whatever, like the software is working or something. I did that. There were other, because it's an assembly line. So you get assigned to a different, like post every time. And there was a
Yeah.
time where like I was doing packing. Packing is
Yeah.
kind of difficult. You have to be fast, and you're surrounded by cardboards and shit. You get allergies for that. I mean, if you're sensitive. I mean, I don't have the fairest skin of them all, but my skin's sensitive. Believe me. And so I did that for a while too. And there was also a time that they assigned me to just pressing buttons. That was it, right? So it's the easiest job. And the
You're
guys
like
here at
Homer.
that
You're like
time,
Homer Simpson. You're
right,
like Homer
right,
Simpson.
yeah,
All he did was like press buttons, and he couldn't
press
even do it
buttons,
right.
right?
He could even do it right. Like the
Can't
nuclear
even
plant
press
had
the
a
right
meltdown.
button. And the guys here were like telling me go get a job at KYB, like the ones who like who make shocks, right? Shock absorbers.
Yeah, yeah.
They pay better, and it's for men. Like you're a man, you should work for KYB. And I was like tempted to like, all right, I'm gonna do KYB, then go home. But luckily, things changed when I found this teaching job, and it involves like communicating to people. And I didn't know that I could do kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I do a lot of parties. I do adult parties. I mean, adult. When I say adult, I'm talking about
Yeah,
like
yeah, not that adult.
weddings.
Not
Oh,
adult.
yeah,
Not
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 that adult, right? So
I
I'm talking
mean,
about like the booze and shit. And I was like, no, I don't do kids parties. I don't even do that. Like children's parties, I hated that. So I was like, I can never do like kid gigs. So I was like, wow, teaching in an elementary school, what am I gonna do? I mean, I don't know how to deal with kids. But then, I mean, it was the only way that I could leave um, that other life that I had here. So I just gave it my all. And I was just like, I studied it. I looked at the people who were like doing it,
mhm.
and in time I got better at it. So I was just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do this. So yeah, but if I look back, no, dude, nothing can beat that feeling. Like that particular time that we were together, I
Yeah.
keep telling people like that's the only job that I had that I've not even done. It's like an hour before my shift is over. I am looking forward to the next day. I can't wait to wake up the next day to do my job. It's
You
not
know
only that
why?
job, but the medical representative too.
You know
Yeah,
why?
why?
Because that's how great I was as a co-employee. You just like you were looking forward to seeing me
Yeah, I
again.
didn't have
Oh,
a
I'm gonna see
problem with
Rod
that.
again.
But that's a factor too. That's a factor
No, we
too.
didn't have a problem with
That's a factor
anybody.
too. No, yeah, that's
I
true.
never
I
had
didn't have a problem
conflict
with anyone.
with anybody at the station. Never. Like maybe there's some issues
Even
about
even if Chuck's leave, even if Chuck leaves earlier, or like, or he would like
fine,
come and tell me
but
like,
you would.
dude, can I leave an hour
Yeah,
early? I'll
yeah,
pay
yeah,
you a
you would.
hundred. I'm
Yeah,
like, all
no,
right,
no,
sure,
no, no,
I'll
you
do
would.
it. I would love to do it. Like you pay me 100 and I get to have your poor time. Are you kidding me? I would
Yeah,
have
yeah,
done it
yeah.
for free.
I got
I
it.
would
Yeah,
have done it for free.
exactly.
Sometimes he pays me like he pays me late, like really late, like after 2 weeks or so. But it's fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all
Yeah,
right, I
yeah,
could have done it for free.
yeah, yeah.
Then but he
But
would
still
pay me,
better.
so I'm like, it's
At least
fine.
he'll pay you. I mean, because
Yeah, that's
Mao's
true.
not
That's true.
Mao will not offer that kind of a bribe if it's not like an important thing. It's something that he has to probably go to or
It has
probably
to be
like
an important drinking
and
session.
sometimes yeah it is like sometimes to us right like we would like for example during that time since we had to make ends meet and we weren't really compensated as much. I mean the thing that kind of got us through that was like if you compared our compensation to let's say the security guard who was risking his life, we were
Right.
making more. So we're like, okay, at least we're making more than
We
him. We're
were.
all doing,
True that.
I mean, buwis buhay yung mga yon. Tayo, we're like partying all night. So that was like the thing that got us through. But like for example, like during that time, we needed to make ends meet, and our compensation was enough. You had two jobs, and then you would also host events. We all hosted events. Joe hosted events. I hosted. We would like pass the scripts around and the program flow around. We would share that, and we would like talk about it. Like, hey, do you have a gig tomorrow? No. Can we swap schedules? Because I have a hosting gig, and yeah. So we would do that, and we were allowed to do that. And I think that's one thing that I give the company credit for is that, or at least our management, our local management, I would give credit for allowing us to have those schedule swaps and whatnot, which I think if you actually refer to the company booklet or the manual, probably not that easy to just execute amongst ourselves. We would have to go through a process, but we were able to do that, and we were allowed to do that because we all looked at each other as adults, and we all needed to earn some pay. And whenever there's a gig and it's not in conflict with the other person's gig, we would work that out. So yeah, that's I mean, and for you, okay, let me ask you this: for you, between the radio gig and let's say live hosting, do you enjoy both the same level? I mean, assuming let's say you can host your own show, like it's not like hosting a wedding or whatever. Like you're hosting a show, but it's live. Kind of like hosting for friends or hosting for your
Okay.
people who listen to you.
I'm a
Would you enjoy
sort
that as
of
much?
probably because I'm sort of I'm audience oriented, right? The more people I see, the more motivated I become, right?
No
People are
butterflies at
like,
all.
"Oh,
No
there are like
butterflies.
lots of people. Oh my god,
No,
I can't do
no
this." No,
butterflies. No
the
stage fright.
more people there are in like in the
And you
gym,
tell me
I'm
you
like,
can approach, and you tell me you can approach a girl at a bar to ask for her number. Come
that's a different
on,
thing,
you can't. No,
dude.
it's not. No,
No,
what
no,
you're
no,
saying
no.
is
That's
that's
a different thing.
scarier. That's
No,
scarier.
No, because that's different. That's different because you know that they're there for you. You know what I'm saying? Or if they're not there for you,
Okay, that's
they're
okay.
there for indirectly for you. You know
Gotcha,
what I'm
gotcha,
saying?
gotcha, gotcha. I gotcha, I
All
gotcha, I
right.
gotcha. I
So
gotcha, I
even if
gotcha.
like, all right, MYMP
There's some.
concert,
I
right?
gotcha, I
I
gotcha.
remember that MYMP concert. We were the sponsor, and that USP gig, dude, that was like one of my most memorable hosting gig because the grounds were full,
Mm-hmm.
even the stands were full, and it was open air, right?
And you were
So
hosting.
I
Everybody
yeah,
saw
I was
you.
there around I got there around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and dude, there were like so many people. I was like, holy shit, they're here. I know they're there for MOMP, but they know for a fact that the major sponsor there, like the radio partner, was Killer B 89.1. So these people should have known about it through our radio ads, right? If
Yeah,
not for the posters and whatever, but most of them probably heard of it from the radio station. So
yeah,
they would know you, they would know me, they would know Annie. So they might not like me, but they would know of me, right?
yeah, yeah.
And so if they don't like, 'cause here's the thing. Sometimes people listen to you, and they're like, I don't really like this guy that much, right? Or like I'm indifferent. He's okay. I don't know, whatever. But then if they see you, and you give them a different experience live, that
Their
might change
opinions
their
change.
minds,
You
and
might
they'd
win
be
them
like,
over.
I don't. This guy's not so bad at all. So that's an opportunity for me. So I get motivated
Mm-hmm.
in doing live, like hostings. And when they did that night, and when the like the spotlight was um because it was like already dark when we started, right? So it was me and
Mm-hmm.
Annie,
Mm-hmm.
and so we have to like introduce the band. So in the beginning, they kind of like turned off all the lights before me and Annie came out before they turned it
Okay.
on
Who
for
did the
like some dramatic
voiceover?
effect, whatever.
Who did the
I
voiceover
don't know who
introduce
did the
you?
voiceover. It could be Mr. Ripper, but me and Annie, we were on stage, or it could be me because I was like announcing stuff. So that was me right behind the stage and doing the voiceover. And
Mm-hmm.
then they turned off the lights. Then me and Annie went on stage, and when they turned on the lights and they just pointed the spotlight at the
Mm-hmm.
like on the ground in the stands,
Mm-hmm.
dude, they were just like, oh my god, holy shit, this is one of those dreams that I have. Like, I know they're not here for me, but
Yeah.
oh my
You
god,
felt
I
like a
have the
rock
mic.
star. You felt like a rock
Right.
star. You
And
felt
I'm
like a
like,
rock star.
hey, like I shouted, like they were so like, woo, like no, they're not wooing for me, they're wooing for MYMP. But I'm like, all right, my name is Iceman, and I'm with Annie, blah blah blah, and we were
You should
giving
have
away
said.
stuff.
You should have said, "Hey, mga kaplip top." And you should have brought a towel with you. You were like, "Oh, mga kaplip top. Oh, mga kaplip top. Oh, ano, dito na si Looney." I mean, have you checked Flip Top? Did you even check that? The one we were
No,
talking
I don't
about?
know, like who the hell is
Okay.
that? Like,
Anyway,
but
forget it. Go ahead.
yeah, so
Continue.
it's one of those things that I like it's one of my unforgettable experience. And when we finished on stage, the lights turned off again. I think the band were setting up. Then
Mm-hmm.
boom, that was like one of those things that like you never forget in your life because that was a live concert. It was a
Mm-hmm.
really hot band at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And when the light turned on, it was like it was like the timing was great. Their first song was I Don't Want to Wait.
Oh
Their
wow.
first song was I Don't Want
Paula
to Wait.
Cole. Paula
Paula
Cole.
Cole. And we're
Yeah.
talking about Juris Fernandez's voice here. And her
Yeah.
voice amazes me, right?
You know
And
the line,
just
the
when
opening
she
line to "I Don't Wanna Wait."
um
Na na na, the narration part.
yeah. Um right. So
Do you
right. So
memorize it?
open up your
There you
morning
go.
light, right? So
Yeah.
that first line, so open up, when she sang that, boom, the lights went on, and dude, the wind was blowing, the breeze was so cool, and the moment up, na 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 I was like, this is heaven, this is heaven. I was like, I'm having goosebumps right now. I was like, holy crap, I can't, I
What
cannot
were
believe
you
it.
wearing?
Now
What were you
I don't
wearing
know,
that
dude.
night?
I
Do you
don't remember.
remember?
I hope somebody got a picture of it somewhere.
Did somebody put makeup on you?
No, 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 no makeups, no
Oh
makeups. That was
man,
like
dude, come on.
no
That was your
makeups, no makeups. Because you know why? That was like that was a student concert. That was a campus concert. So
okay.
I mean, it wasn't
Yeah.
like glamorous, right? The second time there was like I had a nice experience like that was at the Kitchen Doll concert. Remember that?
Yes, of
I don't know
course.
why I was the only guy there,
You were
and
the
that
host,
place
right?
was packed. It was packed.
Was
Like
that a
that was
venue?
packed. I
Was
don't
that
know.
at the venue? Was that
At the venue, and that was
The
like
venue, yeah.
really full. It was like
Yeah.
packed. People were there, and people
Dude,
wanted to see
that was
Kitschy and
Kitchen Nadal's like peak. Like, Was she
I
with Hale or
know.
was it with just her? Did she have
Where
another
the
band with
hell were
her?
you guys?
Wh-
That was an opportunity. I took it. I was like,
Dude.
I'm gonna do this shit, and I did, and I
No,
was
no,
so happy to do it.
I accompanied her during the sound check, and I already got to talk to her because she said that I look a lot like a friend of hers in Manila, and she asked me if I had a brother named whatever,
I didn't
whatever, and I
really
said
care
no.
about her. I cared about the people who were
For
watching. I was like, I
sure,
don't
for
care about
sure.
Kitchi Nadal. I don't
Hold
even
on.
listen to her.
Were we there? I'm trying to think if we were even there. Cause I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
okay.
Where were you guys?
What
No,
about
we
the
were
Jimmy
there.
Bondok one? What about the Jimmy
We were
Bondok one?
there. Jimmy Bondoc. I don't think I was with Killer B at that
No, there
time.
was one at the venue. There was like one where Jimmy
The Jimmy
Bondok was.
Bondoc. I wasn't with Killer B at that time,
Okay, all
dude.
right.
We were
Okay.
not. You were still with UR, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I don't
I
think
was
I
not
was.
with Killer B
Yeah,
at that time.
probably was
I
just
was with
there
another
because.
radio station. Maybe
Okay,
you're
so
probably there because of your girlfriend.
So Yoshi, yeah, yeah, yeah. So
No, we
Yoshi,
were
the Kichi
there,
one.
dude.
Okay,
We were there.
what's the
Nobody
Kichi
wanted to
song?
do it.
What's the Kichi song? Come on.
What was the
And why was
fucking
it
song
popular?
that time?
Try to recall. No cheating, no cheating, no googling. I know exactly
Holy
what the
shit.
song is.
Kichi Nadal.
It's from a TV series. If anybody out there on chat knows, yeah, Mike, come
Tabing
on.
Ilog. Is it from Tabing Ilog?
No, it's not. That's Barbie Almalbis. It's Barbie Almalbis.
Barbie. That's Barbie, right? Holy shit.
But it's Tagalog. It's Tagalog.
Crap.
Nang isipin.
What was that song, man?
I kind of like.
What was that song?
I know that. I know the song. Wag na wag mong. Oh my God, what is that song? Um, it's Tagalog. It's from the.
It is Tagalog. It is Tagalog. I
It's from the
remember.
Korean novella Lovers in Paris. They used that in Lovers in Paris. It's wag na wag mong sasabihin. I think wag na wag mong sasabihin.
Wag na wag mong sasabi. What was the?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Uh,
Hang on. I'm just gonna Google it. Wag na
wag
wag
na wag
mo.
mong sasabihin. That Paris, yeah, K-drama. That's it. Lovers in Paris. That's the one. Yeah, that's right, Patrick.
Yeah,
And
Kitchen daw. Wag
the
na wag
song
mong
was wag na wag mong
sasabihin.
sasabihin.
All right, this was released in 2004. Yeah, this is the time. This was the time. Wag na wag mong
That was
sasabihin, right?
2004.
Dude, that was at that time, 2004.
Was that like my first year at Killer B? That was probably just my first year, right? That had to.
Yeah. No. That was like the song was released
Be.
2004.
Oh, okay. But it was promoted
I
like maybe
think
2005.
right. So
Okay.
that could be it because you know like we always have the Manila whatever like the Manila trend late in you know like in Davao. They have the retro thing going, you know, like it came to us after 6-7 months, right? And they had the acoustic thing going there. Then it came to us like 6-7 months.
Yeah,
after.
like later. Okay, hold
Yeah,
on.
so it-
I gotta let the guys know what's going on. So we have CJ, we have Patrick, we have Luis tuned in. I guess what we're talking about is like what gets your motor running because we're talking about Iceman. We're kicking it off with Iceman. You know what ignites his passion? What is it that kind of like makes him feel alive again? And he's talking about radio and he's hosting stint and he's talking about the times when he hosted for MYMP and Kitchen Nadal during their heydays and among other celebrities. So go ahead, continue where you left off.
Right.
So
So,
you-
yeah, I think
you
I
hosted
was
that?
there and it was like really packed. And I don't know where were you guys. I don't know why. I was the only one who was there. I think Amy was
Dude,
there too. I'm not sure. I don't remember.
I
But I
was
was the only
probab-
guy who was there. I was the main
I-
guy there.
I was either with Joe or Billy Kane and
You were
Mao.
probably
And
drinking.
You know,
I think you were outside
yes,
drinking.
Probably. Like
I don't know
you
why
know.
you didn't grab that. I was so happy I was there, and I was just like messing with the people because you know we have those games and shit. Like, okay, who can give me or who can bring me an expired driver's license?
I know
right?
you did all
and
that
somebody
stuff.
would
I know you did
come.
all that stuff.
I'm like, I hope you're not driving because you're a lawbreaker or whatever. So I'm just like busting their balls on stage, and there were like some pretty girls too who would come
Did
on
anybody
stage. I'm like,
co-host with
dude,
you?
That was like
Did
awesome.
anybody co-host with you?
I don't think so. I was alone there. So that's why I was like, that developed my sense of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you look at the backstage, and then you know, like the PA is just like, she's not ready.
Yeah.
She's not ready. You
Yeah,
have
go
to
ahead.
Keep going.
Keep going. Yeah.
Keep going. So I'm like, all right. So what do we have? I'm like, okay. Do we have more prizes? And okay. So you have to come up with that impromptu shit.
Yes,
And I'm
yes,
so good with
ad-lib,
that.
yeah.
I can make one topic like I don't know expand to like
Exactly. You
different
can
or,
talk
different
about
other
your childhood.
topics and shit.
Talk about your
Right?
childhood.
And so that was so cool. It was like I was there for a long time on stage. Kitchi was late, and I was like, I was just loving it. People would have hated it. I never hated it. In my head, I was like, Kitchi, come on, man, give me more time here. Give me more time here. You know, like
No.
just take your time. Take your time.
Just so people know, I don't know if during that time we were already doing the entertainment plaza of SM whenever they have celebrities coming in at the SM Ecoland. I know I hosted for some, you hosted for some, And I
They
don't know
were
if you
kind of
already
doing it already.
were we already doing it at the time? Because I remember
Yeah, but
doing
not
it.
so
You were doing it.
often. But they were already doing it. Like
So we're kind of
before,
used
it
to
was
having
with us.
celebrities
It was with
already. We're used to
yes,
like
yes.
having okay, all right,
But SM was like they did it with Mix and they did it with us. So they did it with Mix for a
okay,
while, then they did it with us.
okay.
So it was already happening. But I think at that time it was
Because
not. They would like give it to us, give it to Mix,
the reason I got
something like
hooked
that.
up on that gig was because one of the girls in the marketing was like a friend of an ex, I think, and she was the one who kind of got me. Maybe the same girl who also got you, because I remember this girl.
Karen,
She was Karen.
Karen,
That's it. That's it.
good
Karen.
one,
She
yeah,
was the
Karen.
one. She was our
She was my
contact.
batchmate in
There you
Assumption.
go. Someone like that. Yeah, yeah, I remember. And yeah. So it's kind of the same thing, anyways, right? Like whenever you're holding a crowd before the celebrity shows up because they're kind of late and they're still fixing something up or whatever. There's a wardrobe malfunction. It's kind of the same thing. You gotta like make sure that they remain excited. You talk about like have trivia games. You talk about whatever stuff. Like try to be funny and entertaining. And I think that's a true job of a host. That's really when the experience comes in. And I think what prepped us for that was a radio experience. We were always ready with a line in case a song fails or there's dead air. That's when the ad lib comes in where it's not scripted. And
I
when you're
know. That's
hosting,
why I
that
hate
usually happens.
scripts.
Yeah, I
Hey,
hate
here's the
scripts too.
script.
I just need a program flow.
Fuck the
Just give me the
script.
program flow. I'll deal with
Yeah.
that program flow. Okay, how long do you want this part of the program to be? 30 minutes. All right, I got it. I got it. We'll cook something up. It's the hardest part is the hardest part of the show is just the breaking the ice in the beginning, and it's like after a while you get warmed up, and then you start to look at the crowd and you start seeing that they're feeling you because initially once you open the mic and you show up, everyone's like looking at you. They're like they don't know what to expect. Yeah, are you funny? Are you what are you? Who is this guy? So you try to win them over, and based on their response on your lines and your whatever remarks you have for them and for the program proper itself, you base it on that. If they have a sense of humor, then you start to get funnier. If you see there's a lot of younger people in the crowd, you try to appeal to their sentiments. If it's more the older folks, then you try to, compliment them. But it's I think in the hosting thing, the live hosting thing, I think amongst all of us during that time at Killaby, I think you were probably, I would say you were probably the number one in terms of like just being a good host in terms of
Because I wanted it. Because that was the thing. You didn't want it. Like
and you
most
took
of you
the
guys didn't
time.
want it.
And yes, we didn't. No. I think you wanted it, and you took the time to look good. Like you were always coordinated. You had good posture. Like Joe and I, we were kind of rugged looking guys, so we weren't really comfortable wearing formal clothes at the time, and you kind of have to be that. And you were always like the preppy guy. You're always the preppy. Plus, you have very good patience and you have good listening skills, and you know how to deal with people on the marketing side. The production people. You're really good at dealing with that. I kind of don't have a patience with that. I'm like I'll listen, I'll pay attention, but I'm kind of like, okay, let's get this over with. You're more of like, yeah, sure. Okay, the more that needs to be done, the more excited and involved you are. And I think I don't know if that's from your teaching experience or from your medrep experience or whatever, but it seems like you're better at dealing with people from both genders, male and female, and from different age brackets. Like you could deal with the young ones, you could deal with the older folks. Like the tita ones, you could chumney them up. The younger ones, you can be like this little, like high school kid.
You should
And
see me with first graders and
because
second graders these days. Like,
I don't see.
what the hell is
It
this
gets
guy doing?
younger
Like, oh,
because I'm kind of selective. It's like, okay, if this person is not somebody that I have this, I'm kind of like, okay, I lose interest already. For you, it's like you always look like you're excited regardless of who walks in. Billy Kane has that same charm and charisma. He's like excited regardless. He seems like he's excited regardless of who comes in. Mao and I, Joe, I mean, we're all like, we wear our
I
hearts
don't
on
know.
our
It could
sleeves.
be a
I think,
personality thing, or it could
and,
be I don't know. It
and it's
could be
not ass
issues,
kissing,
maybe
and it's not ass
underlying
kissing, right?
issues. Could be.
You wouldn't say it's
Maybe my
ass
dad
kissing.
didn't really. No, not really. It could be like
No, because
I just wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe my dad didn't really pay much attention to me when I was a kid. He wouldn't listen to me, so I need people to like talk to and listen to me, something like that.
to reinforce
But
the
no, my
fact
dad
that
listened to me. My dad listened to me.
he
He
just
would talk to
he
me.
just he just didn't care.
Yeah, most of them were like, "What?" He would just like, "Oh, you want ball, right? Okay, I'll buy you a boy and a girl. Like, buy lucky." Like, all right,
Pero
I didn't really
malaghan.
get it, but I'm
Pero
gonna
malaghan.
like I didn't even get it.
Maybe he
Oh my
started that
god,
line
my dad,
because I heard that much later in my lifetime.
buy
I think
lucky.
I think it's just yeah. at the time you were really the host, because I think we all agreed on that. It wasn't because like we didn't want to do it or whatever. Because hosting an event, you always had an extra. You get like 1.5, you get money. You always had extra. Plus, you get the fame and the exposure as well. That's why you were
Right.
the one that showed up on the surveys. That's why whenever you ask like our listeners, young, who do they know? It's like Iceman, because maybe they saw you at the interims. You always make an effort to make an appearance, and I don't know. Like
Yeah,
I was
I
kind of like,
really exerted effort on that because even if there's like no fee and it's like, oh, who wants to go to Ateneo or who wants to go to UIC, and you don't get anything except for like, all right, we'll give you transportation or whatever, or maybe
sandwich,
we'll give you GCs and shit,
chis
right?
pimiento.
All right, and I'm like, all right, sure, and I'm
Ateneo
like,
gift
because
back.
like, yeah, I'll go there, and I like how long, like an hour or two. I'm like, that's not bad. Then you just sit there, then you just like talk shit, and they find out who you are, and they start talking to you. Then the network grows. And for the most part, when they meet you and you're nice to them, they kind of like spread the word. Like, oh, that guy's nice. Listen to him. So
Yeah,
I think that was the secret there. That's what I did. I just made friends. I made a lot of friends
I think
through radio
yeah, and the thing was
and
like,
lots of enemies too.
yeah, you did. Yeah, I think back then, and if you did like ABS, or you did GMA, or you did like one of these like you know um and I don't want to use the term masa, but more of the like the popular stations that cater to a wider market. You probably would have been uber popular, man, because you would have been. I mean, you would have fit right in, because you were one of those guys. You have that
But yeah,
energy.
but that wasn't the format I wanted.
Those
That was
guys have a different
that wasn't the
energy.
format I wanted.
Like I've worked with like I've co-hosted with some of these like GMA, like ABS guys, TV. They have a different energy, man. I'm like, I can't keep up. I'm like, what's going on with these guys? I'm like, yeah, they have a different energy, dude. Like their collars are all popped up, and they all like have this, like their hair's all. I'm like, chill. Like, hold on. Like, what's going on here? They have a different energy, because they're used to dealing with like a crowd that's probably like kind of impatient already, or they always have to sort of be funny to that particular crowd. We're kind of used to just like, okay, take us for what we've got, for what we're worth. If we don't have to be funny for you guys. We're just hosting. We're here. For them, they're part of the show. And I think what you did whenever you hosted is you made sure you were kind of part of the show. You were exerting effort to be entertaining already. Like, whereas for me, I'm like, okay, I'm just facilitating here, from one segment to the other. Of course, later on, I realized you kind of have to make your presence felt too. But you already kind of exerted the effort to be part of the show, and you should a bit. You should be as well. You should be, because you were a DJ, you were a celebrity, you're Iceman. So I was thinking, yeah, if you did ABS or you did GMA, I think you would,
No, like
you would have
it
been.
would be it would be different because it's not what I wanted. Like that's the thing. If I don't want it, I don't want it. It's
Why? Because
like
he was in
learning
English.
Japanese, probably. Because my goal was like, all right, I have to develop my communication skills, and it should be the English communication part, and not the. I know I
What
can speak
about
Tagalog. I know I can
W
speak
W
Bisaya.
Rock, W Rock or Home Radio? Those were
Dude, there's no
must.
there's no room to grow there. 95.5 W Rock, the home of New Rock. Well, whatever. Time check, and that's it. No talking. We had the freedom. That's why K91 shaped me because there was so much freedom there. I could just say whatever I want. Literally, I said bullshit on air.
and and
That was the time
that's
when you can't say bullshit on air.
and that was kind of a downfall. Not the downfall. That's kind of like a flaw too for other people, because when we, obviously when other people listen to us and they're used to the, you know, scripted kind of very limited talk kind of radio format, we were like the guys you should not emulate. I'm pretty sure some program directors or station managers out there in other stations probably told their younger DJs to like, okay, listen to these dudes. You don't want to be those guys. You don't want to be those guys. And I'm pretty sure those
But we
young
want to be like
DJs.
those
Yeah,
guys.
I bet those young DJs were probably thinking, huh? What? Because I mean,
That's the reason
really,
why we're in radio.
honestly, that's also my point too. Honestly, if you're not allowed to talk, you don't have the privilege to like be a personality on air. Why am I
What's the
being
point?
hired?
I
What's
know.
the
What's
point?
the point?
Let the freaking technician do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Record the time, whatever. Like, what's the point? I didn't get that too. I didn't get to, because I really thought that you had to shine through, and I know that there are those cliche lines like, "Hey, what's up, everybody?" But those things were started by those guys from back in the day. It doesn't mean that's what all DJs in the future should do. It's like
Exactly.
that was what they did
Exactly.
back then. But it's open to, it can be
Right.
revised. It can be changed.
I think we were the
But
trailblazers. We were the
you
trailblazers
were the most
of our
talkative
time.
guys right now. I mean, I think we were more
Right.
talkative than the Masa guys. We could out-talk the Masa guys. They could do Bisaya and shit, and we'd do like English all the way. And I think we could out-talk them, to be honest. Like those
Yeah,
guys who were
that's
doing,
true.
like,
That's true.
the guys who were reading
Because
the letter.
I know for a fact that somebody said that to like his people, like don't be like this guy, pertaining to me, and I know someone who also said the same thing about you,
Yeah, don't
and
be like
I
Rod.
was just like, or yeah, something like that. It wasn't really like don't be like Rod, but he had like a certain um he said something about you, and I was just like really like, and I haven't really known you at that time. Like you were just coming in, and he was just like saying stuff like that, and I was just like, all right, cool. I'm just like nodding and whatever. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Maybe I mean, yeah, maybe you have a point, maybe you don't. I don't know. I mean, I haven't worked with this guy yet, but then as time went on, you kind of like realize that maybe it's because of like their orientation, because
Yeah.
these things they don't have a knack for, or maybe they like, I was comparing the things. I mean, no disrespect, I mean, they during their time they did that particular thing, they did that talk show, and I'm pretty sure they had some following and whatever, but to be objectively fair, I don't think it was that funny compared to how we did it. Like our version of it, I would say was the better version of it, like
Of
the
like a
funnier
morning
version
show.
of it. And it was a real. It was more
Yeah.
real.
I think I think it
People
had a
could
lot to do
connect.
with, yeah, because I mean, I think it had a lot to do with the fact that it was in line with our personalities in real life anyways. It wasn't like we were pretending to be people that we weren't, you know? We were just being ourselves. That's why it was much easier for us to do that. We were just goofballs. We were just guys with a sense of humor, and we were just guys who were talkative, and some people, they try to enter an industry, whether it's radio, whether it's TV, whether it's journalism, whatever, like writing or editing, and it's like they just have to take on a different persona to fit in. It's not really them. So hence it feels like work. Hence it's very limited. Hence they have to follow a blueprint. Hence they have to follow a guidebook. Hence they have to be by the book, because they can't really stray from that, because they don't have anything else to offer outside of what they've learned and what was taught and what they were trained to do. Whereas with us, we didn't really have the proper training. We really didn't have a manual to have as a reference. We weren't really being told, because if anybody did that to us when we entered radio, we would not have lasted long. I think you would have jumped ship and say, "Ah, this is not fun," and I would have gotten
True.
fired. I would have jumped ship too. I would have been like,
True.
"F this," I can't be creative on here. Like I have so much to say and I can't say
True.
it. Like, because it's kind of, it's broadcasting. Broadcast. It's, you broadcast it, and I think, yeah, because it's a music station. I understand that the obviously the priority there is the music, but think about it. Are you the only radio station that's playing those songs? What makes us
True.
different from
True.
those other stations playing the same damn songs? Right? There's 50 other stations playing the same damn song. What makes us different? What makes us
No.
interesting?
You
What
know what?
makes them
It's
what?
not really just the music, because now there's like Sirius FM, like in America they have like satellite radio. Because
Yes.
people need somebody to be listening to. Like, I
Yes.
mean, just to be on the background talking.
Yes. Yes.
Like if
Like a
you're
companion.
saying you're
Like a
watching
companion.
Friends and they're just there in the background.
Yes.
I mean, they're just there. You're not really engaging with them, but they're there.
Yes.
Like, well, all right, they're keeping you company. And it's the same with talk radio. When you're there and you're talking, and sometimes most of the topics that we had, that didn't really matter to them, but there were certain topics that really hit home with those guys, and those are the things that they don't,
They
they
don't
don't
forget. They
forget.
never forget. They
They
never
would
forget.
always be like, "Oh, I remember that one time you said this." I'm like, "Really? I've forgotten about it. What did I say?" And like, I had those moments with listeners, and I think that's totally true, because I think radio is about experience. Like even podcast is about experience.
Yeah.
Like now it's like all content based. Like you want something, you're like, so I think my sister always tells me that content, content, content. But I'm like, I don't think that's my thing. It's like my thing is like it's live talking, real stuff going on, real shit going down. And it's more of like active, like you know what I'm saying? Like content is like you
Yeah.
record it, you put it there, and they just visit it. Like that's not my thing. Like
Yeah.
I wouldn't even dream to be like, oh, I'm a
I
really
agree with
popular
you.
YouTuber. I don't care about that.
I agree with
I
you. I
don't want
actually
that.
try
I
that.
don't
I
want
agree with
that.
you. I agree with
Right?
you.
I
We're
don't
the
want
same
that.
boat.
What I want is like like connection. I'm talking, somebody's listening. We can like we can engage each other or whatever. It's about the experience. I think that's what
I
that's what
agree.
it is for me at least.
Because content, it limits you. Not only does it limit you, but it forces you to discuss things that you might not necessarily be passionate about or be really involved in at the time. Because what it's trying to do is this is like for those who are obviously trying to grow their audience, and I think that's really what it is for the most part. If you want success as a social media personality, as a podcast guy, as a whatever, YouTuber, vlogger, whatever, you have to grow your audience. But for us, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I know there are ways to grow my audience. Like I said, I can resort to advertising. I can resort to doing sensational videos or talk topics just to get attention, or I can probably pay somebody as a celebrity guest, or go through all those means just to grow an audience. But we tried Kumu, didn't we? I mean,
We
there is an
did.
audience. It's a bigger audience, but it's not our audience. Like, who the hell are these people? Like, I'm starting to become somebody I'm not. Like I was starting to do the show. Like, oh, I'm good. I was like, I'm starting to do something that. Like, hold on, I'm not comfortable with this. This is not me. And you're gonna get burned out real quick if you think you can just be this guy who's hyper and like try to be appealing to everybody and talk about same crap that everybody's talking about and post the same memes and same shit that everybody's posting about and think that you're gonna grow your audience that way. You might. There might be some people who might see you and say, "Hey, that guy's funny. That guy's whatever." But you're gonna get burned out because it's not you. And I think that's really how it is. That's what some people miss out on, and I don't know if we're cut from a different cloth, but a lot of the
All
kids
right.
now that's what they do. That's what they do. Let's read some of the messages here. Patrick, Gab says, you know what they say about men who always wear caps. Yeah, I mean, yeah, guys who always wear
What do
caps.
they say about men wearing caps?
It means their
They
hair's
don't have
thinning.
hair.
Their hair's thinning.
Well, it means I don't. Well, I don't have hair. That's why one
Or
time I was like joking about it, like when I shaved my hair, and I would always say Iceman on air, right? So I shaved my hair, and I
I
said
have
on the
hair, folks. I
radio,
have hair. Okay, it's thinning, but I have
Iceman
hair.
no hair. I said Iceman no hair, and
Instead of
I was like,
Iceman on
yeah, because it
air.
was yeah, Iceman on air. I was like Iceman no hair, and I don't know if people like caught that, but I don't know. Like
I
yeah,
have
like
hair.
it was funny.
I have hair.
I don't.
Too
I
too
don't.
much hair. In fact. Okay. Patrick says another radio station I miss, 105.9 Mix FM, the one I pointed out. I was at. Yeah, Mix and Kilo B at the time. We were, I think, the only two stations with that same kind of programming and
Right.
format, and we had talent. We had an interchange of talents as well. Some of the DJs that they had like worked for us. Some of the DJs that we had worked for them. So it was. I think those were the only two, and then the rest were like either uh like massa stations, or there were some pop stations, but they didn't really like have radio personalities, and it wasn't really like programmed like that. um
So what do you call those people who work there? Like there were people who work there.
Employees, the ones who just play the songs but don't
Announce
really talk.
like well, there were people who talked, man. There were people who actually talked. There was even this one guy that Joe
Those
hated a
other
lot.
the other stations that I was mentioning, like there were some stations, right?
Well,
But
one of the stations actually, like one of those stations, like you actually worked for one of like
yeah,
one of
yeah.
those radio
I
stations.
remember. I remember there was one station. I'm not gonna name it, but like I said, so there was like Kilo B, there was like Mix, and there were these other stations that were also playing the songs we were playing, but just probably didn't have the radio personalities to go on air. And but the funny thing was they would play like let's say a Katy Perry song or Rihanna song, and then they would play something from like Journey or like from Air Supply, and that throws people off. And that, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's when it's like, okay, these guys are just banking on, maybe they're listening to us, maybe they can't be number one in this category of audience bracket, so they're copying our format, but they end up still going back to their roots. Like they can't tell the difference. Oh yeah, there was Monster. I forgot. Yes, there was Monster too. That's right. That's right. Monster was like the one for the youth. Monster, I think, was always, I don't know if it was intentionally targeted to a younger audience, but when I was with Monster for a couple of months, I noticed that the listenership, they're very young. Like they would visit the station. I mean, they had a lot of passionate listeners. They had like this text poll and all that stuff, and but I noticed that it was really for a much younger set, and even the music choices, a lot of Avril Lavigne's and a lot of all that stuff, and I think Killer Bee was like more of like the R&B kind of hip hop a little bit, and then UR was like the just like boy bands and girl groups, and Mix was a little bit more sophisticated, a little bit, they threw in a little bit more mature music in there. So I think that's kind of like how those were just the subtle differences of those stations. But yeah, you're right. There was Monster Radio. I forgot about Monsters. There was three. There was Mix. There was Monster, and there
Yeah,
was Killer
there
Bee.
was right.
Skilla Bee.
And
I
home
think it went.
radio only had that one female voiceover. Do you remember that? Like
Oh,
home
was that
radio. Like
Annette?
hang on.
No, was Annette on home
It
radio?
could
What
have been
station?
Annette. It could
No,
have
I
been
think
Annette. I
no, I
think
think
Annette
Annette.
was with home
W
radio.
Rock. No, she was with W Rock. Annette was with
Was
W
she with
Rock.
W Rock? Okay, Annette was with
Yeah,
W
Annette.
Rock.
What about
No, it's different.
What about
I
what's her
think that
name?
that one
What's her
from home
name?
radio was from K
No, what's her
ninety
name?
one.
The girl you were your boss before, the one I worked with that you were as well. What's her name? Butch. Was it?
Butch,
Dude,
like Carrie Ann.
Butch has a great
Carrie Ann.
voice.
What
Butch
was her
has a great
name in
Butch.
UR? 'Cause she was
She,
Carrie Ann.
I think she was
Her name was
Butch.
Butch.
I
I
think it
think
was
she went with
Butch. I'm
Butch.
not sure. I think it
All
was
right,
Butch.
just when we were with 93.1, when we were working for like Power FM, it was I think I was Mystery Man. I don't know. I don't know why I have that man, but I was the Mystery Man. She was Carrie Ann, and I don't know. I mean, she was really strict as a program director. She was very strict.
Monsters Radio had Monsters Riot. Killer Bee had Friday Madness. Mix FM had their 90s, 2000s music was on Saturdays. Yeah, I mean, hey, Patrick, good to know that you're in Australia now, and these were probably your obviously younger days, but I'm glad you remember all of these things about Davao Radio. I mean, and that you have good memories of it, and you still remember the programs. Friday Madness. Yeah, I love Friday Madness. I mean, that was like actually Friday Madness was like our day because we were all at that age where it was the Friday Madness songs that we really appreciated, right? I mean, you were the
Right,
youngest,
right.
but you dig all those songs. Like Friday
I
Madness
do.
was like
I
for
do.
us, so we loved Friday Madness.
But
The
even
songs that
before that, when I was still a listener, I dig retro jam. It was like the '80s, and they would. I'm not really hardcore '80s, but there were like lots of '80s songs that they were playing that I really like.
like new wave,
Like a new wave type, or even like, like those retro like
Lionel Richie.
dance. Yeah, like no, not Lionel Richie. I like Whitney Houston. They have like
Lionel Richie had a dance song,
Neil
dancing on the
Finn.
ceiling. Oh, what a feeling, dancing on the ceiling. Come on.
All right.
Oh, here's a song that I know you like. I don't need to on your feet. Just
Oh yeah, of course. Wishful
right?
thinking, go west.
In a
Yeah.
big country, and those songs, right?
My wife loved that song.
Big
I don't
country.
like that song. Yeah. In a big. You know what? I didn't know that that was so popular, but I was like
I know
so
you have your
pissed.
version. You have your version.
She was
You have your
listening
version.
to it. Yeah, I know. It's one of those songs that somebody came up with, and it's like you got song. I hated that. In a big country, nag-igit namin, iinom pa jud. I mean,
I know
it's
he's
like you
like,
can
yeah,
come up
I
with
know,
like any lyrics with that. So
I
it's
know what
like
you're
it's
saying.
really, it's
I know
it's
what you're
crazy.
saying.
I don't
Well,
like that song, but
okay.
I didn't realize it was popular because my wife loved that song.
I think that's their only song too. I mean, I'm trying to recall the name of the artist. What's the name of the artist? But we sang Big Country.
Man,
I think
I don't know,
there,
man.
there
My
were a
wife
lot of
is like so much
songs.
into. She's more into '80s than I am, but
Yeah, I mean, there were a
big
lot of
country.
songs during the '80s and '90s that like were like one hit wonders. Like this artist only was known for that one song, but it was so popular. Like for example, the guy who sang "Dying Inside," right? That's the only song I know from that guy, but it was so popular. Who's that guy? "Dying Inside." I have that guy's song. Dying
Um,
inside to hold you. I
Jamie,
be
what's
No, not Jamie, not Jamie. It's like some like three names or something. Dying inside. Oh, jeez. It started out.
Timmy Thomas.
Timmy Thomas.
Timmy Thomas. Timmy
Like
Thomas.
if you look at the guy's face, like picture, it looks like he's from the '60s or something. It looks
Yeah,
Timmy Thomas.
yeah,
Like,
true.
nobody knows that. Like, I don't know. I don't know any of his songs. Okay, here's another one. The Promise from When in Rome. I'm sorry, but I'm just thinking of the right words to say. The promise. I know that these words I don't want them to be. But if you wait around a while, I'll make it up to you. I promise. I promise.
Promise
You.
you.
When you are in bang. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, big country. In the big country is from big country. I feel like I just quoted like yeah.
Like it's the Beatles, we're the Beatles.
Eh, Kani among banda, yaga yaga rani, ang among pangalan, maupod ang title. See,
Big
it's so easy to put
country.
in words there.
It is, it is, it
It's
is, it is. I get you, I
so
get you.
that's why I hated it. And my
I get it,
wife's
I
like
get it.
listening to it in the car, and I look at her funny. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Why do you like this song?" Like, this is a
And
really
that's the
nice
only
song.
song.
I'm like, "Holy shit!"
That's
Like,
that's the
because
only popular song, right?
I think so. I
Like
think
I feel
so.
I feel bad for the person who buys that whole album, and like that's the only song that's like worth listening to. You should have just bought the now that's what I call music compilation or something, you know? Because like I said, the When in Rome, The Promise, right? Um, what other one hit wonders were there? So many. Yeah, like I said, Dying Inside, right? Erasure had several songs. It wasn't just Always. They had several songs.
Always I wanna be
What
with you.
about
Right?
what about Due? Due from Rap.
Yeah, do it. Like, I love that song.
Antori, come on,
Yeah,
te
yeah. I mean, I listen to that up to now.
bacioni, don't you? It's like Italian,
Right?
right?
It's a
That's
very
the
nice
only
song.
song that we know from them. What about what the one who sang Angelina? And we have our own version of it.
But okay,
Eh,
hang on.
who
So
sang
here's the
Angelina?
thing. I don't get it. Like
Angel,
Angelina,
baon
buong puti,
mo sa linggo na di ka nagsasabaw.
Angelina,
Psy, right? I think it was PSY. Not the Korean
Angelina.
guy, but yes, I think Angelina was by, but not the Korean guy, but same spelling. I think it's PSY. Check it. Um, I think it's yeah, Angelina by Psy. Let me check. I think yes,
Hang on,
Angelina by
Angelina,
PSY. I was right. Angelina by PSY.
Angelina 80s song.
Angelina. Oh, see? Um,
Angelina Sai. All right,
yeah,
okay.
it's by side. Full lyrics. Okay, here's the actual correct lyrics of Angelina. Finally, someone's going to share it. I'm gonna share it. I don't really speak French. I took French as an elective
It's from 1990.
during high school, but it's not that old, right?
No, it's not that old. That's why it's like it's not even 80s. It's 1990. I think it's same with Timmy Thomas. That was like early 90s, 91, 92 maybe. Because the 80s were like more of see. Here's I don't understand. We play like okay. We have Boy George, and like what's the band like Boy George band Culture Club, right?
Yeah.
All these like bands from the 80s, like the like Go West
New new wave, new wave.
and like the new wave bands and shit. I don't know why, like during Retro Jam, Bon Jovi songs weren't played because they were from the 80s, right? There were like
Mm-hmm.
lots of rock songs that are so popular from the 80s.
Yeah, Bon
And,
Jovi, Def Leppard,
right,
Van
yeah, Killer
Halen.
Bee, they don't play it. And that's just crazy. I'm like, why? What was the programming like?
No, no, because Bon Jovi's like, dude, that's like beer house music, man. Like Guns N' Roses
But
stuff. That's like
still, it's
beer
like a
house
hit from
music.
the 80s. Are you kidding me?
I
Now that
know,
it plays, I kind of like get the, like, I
I
get the
know, but
jizz of it.
I know, but it's like
Ding, ding,
it's
ding, 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 ding. I'm like
I
in the
know,
car, I'm
but
listening to it. Back
I
in the
know,
day, I
but
never listened to Bon Jovi.
but that's like
But now I'm
Jeepney
like,
Driver music. That's
whoa,
Jeepney Driver
whoa,
music, man.
way to go, Sesto. All
I
right,
mean,
okay.
it just it kind of it became like Jeepney Driver music because it became so popular that it just got to the point where it's not cool anymore. I mean, it's
What do you mean
popular
it's not
still.
cool? Yeah,
It's not cool anymore.
But yeah,
I
but that
mean,
only happens in the Philippines, right?
like
Because me and my
okay,
wife were discussing it, and my wife said like, "Well, that only happens in the Philippines." Because we're the people always like it's Baduina and stuff like that, but I don't think that happens in America. Like if you're in the states, like I don't think there's like I mean, there
oh,
are
you
no
mean
jeepney
like,
drivers
oh,
there.
you mean like in the states, like if it's like for this particular decade, then they're
Yeah,
gonna
like
play the
yeah,
hits
that's
of
like
that
part of
decade,
it. Like yeah,
regardless
it's like
of
that's a pop song. That's a pop rock song. That's Bon Jovi we're talking
I
about.
know, but that, like I said, but that's why there are radio classifications, and I think in the Philippines it matters more because in the Philippines, we're not Americans. That's like only one of the indicators that you belong to a certain class is because of the music that you listen to. We're not Americans. Like in America, majority of the people there are middle class, so it's not like there are country music listeners and there are non-country music listeners. Basically, that's it. And everyone else just basically just can appreciate any kind of music, but here in the Philippines, it's kind of like there's
He played
more.
more of like the '80s from like from the UK. Because for example, like "Don't Dream It's Over," that's a really nice song, right?
Yeah,
And I think they're British,
I
and
think
I
so.
didn't
Crowded
even know
House.
about it.
Was that
Yeah,
Crowded
Crowded
House?
House.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Crowded House. right? So
Ding ding.
my wife introduced me to that song, and I went crazy over that song because I'm like, oh my god, this is a really good song, and you can
It's
only hear
freedom,
that
man.
only at Killer B back in the day. And I
Yeah.
think Q98 or home radio like probably like played it a couple of times. I don't know, like when I
Yeah. Like
listened to them,
songs
but it was mostly
like
Killer
like
B. And it's
like
like,
China
right, that's
Crisis. Like
UK, but
we
all
would
right,
play like
China Crisis.
something
That's still
that
UK, right? That's
yeah,
not
that's
American. That's
UK.
like UK.
But like I said, dude, it's like
How about Mike Francis?
there's
Where's Mike Francis from?
Mike Francis is I think he's you know what? When I was in college, I was like Mike.
Norwegian? Is he Norwegian?
You know,
Swiss?
when I was in college, Mike Francis was like rich kids music. Like I hung out with some rich kids and they were like into Mike Francis and I actually like tried to pretend. Like there were some girls that I would make phone
Okay,
calls
just a
to
question. Do you
and
think they
flirt
were
with.
really into Mike Francis or they were just into it because
No.
they think that's the rich kid music? Do you really think that they like it?
Ting,
Or
ting.
they were
No,
just like
no, no.
pretenders?
I think
They
okay.
pretended they liked it because they think
No,
that
no.
that's the rich kid
I
song.
I think
That's the Shao
honestly
people song.
honestly they didn't know any better because some of these rich kids I hung out with who would listen to Mike Francis and some of the girls that I would call and say that like they have a kuya who played in a band and they would play like at a certain bar and that's like the music that the kuya would play or they had like their elders in the family and they're obviously more sophisticated and they were influenced by the music of the elders in the family and that's kind of it and I think if I had started listening to Mike Francis during that time, then obviously I would have been like just pretending because I really tried to like it too. I was like Friends and what was the other one? I only know two, and I was like I really tried to like it. But I was like,
You
it's just
didn't? So it's like so it's me. So you're me in a different
it's like
scenario. Because me, it was like I tried to like metal rock. I couldn't. But Mike
oh
Francis, I was like,
ah,
even if I didn't know about Mike Francis, I just like loved listening to it. I was like, oh,
no,
this
it's
song's
just
nice.
it
So,
was just
like I was telling you, and you brought it up one time. I was like, "Oh, we were so poor. We were going through these shit and whatever." And we were talking about music. You're like, "You're poor and you like Mike
I
Francis? Are
know
you kidding me?"
exactly.
Like,
It's like
no, because I like Mike Francis. You don't have to be poor or rich to like a music.
I mean, why you
I
listen to
don't think
Kevin
that's an
Letao as
indication.
well? Are you listening to Kevin Letao too? What you
I mean,
what?
that's too deep for me. That's too much. But
I
Mike
mean,
Francis is just like the borderline, right?
no,
Kevin Littau
it's
is nice, but it depends on the mood. If I'm having dinner, like a fancy dinner with my wife or like some lady, I'm probably gonna dig that, right? Or if I'm in a meeting or
yeah.
something,
But I
like
mean,
Kevin Littau, yeah, sure, why
no,
not?
because
The
when
Eiley brothers, right?
Mike Francis was popular, I was in college, dude, and it's like I felt like it was too mature, like it was too ahead, like it seemed too pretentious at
Let
the
me
time.
in
Yeah, it's too pretentious, dude. Come
with
on,
the
like
flowers.
I
Don't bring me down. I'm underground.
yeah, I'm so shy.
Dude,
I mean,
don't you
it's just
have, dude?
I don't,
Up until now,
I'm not.
it has that effect. I listen to that music. I feel like I'm courting somebody, and she won't let me in, and I have the flowers with me, and I'm like closing my eyes, like, na, 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 when I see
Dude,
you
dude, you know what
again.
I was listening to?
They're like,
You know what I
oh
was listening
man,
to
it
during
breaks
that
my
time?
heart.
Informer, and I'm like a boom
I
boom
like keep
yeah.
boom boom down.
That was more my time. That
Oh,
was
okay.
like
That
more my
well,
music.
I love Informer
Informer,
too. I mean,
and yeah.
my,
Right?
my daughter's namesake, Snow. All right,
I
yeah. Every
know.
time
It's
we listen to
like
Informer now in the car,
a
and there's
shame
like that
won't
in the
turn
middle, like
informer,
Snow.
informer. I
And
mean,
she would
it's
catch that. And she would like, "Oh, Snow, Papa Snow." I'm like, "Yeah, she's talking about you." Like
that's
he's talking about
Mike
you.
Francis crap. You know, it's like I had
What do you
friends who were
mean
like
it's
that.
not crap, man? Come
It's like
on.
okay,
All right,
Mike Fran.
John. I know you're a rock guy. You think Mike Francis is crap?
I
I mean,
mean,
you're a music guy. I know. I mean, you're mainly
Jong
rock, but
appreciates like music, all kinds of music. He has no choice. He's a session player. He has to play songs that even he doesn't like. You know, like he kind of has to.
oh, I
He has
know, right?
yeah, he
No, I
does. He's
can't.
not.
You know
He's
what?
not
When
like just
I
a
go home,
rocker. He can play anything. He plays Beatles. He
all
plays
right, okay.
anything.
But John said it's scrap.
It is. It is, man.
Come
It's
on,
like.
man.
It's like.
John,
It's
you're a
like the,
musician. You're supposed to appreciate all types of music.
it's like a girl from Sasa singing, I'm the girl from Ipanema. I mean, like, come on, bossa nova crap. I mean, come on, right? It's like, I know it sets the mood. It makes you kind of feel
Dude,
like
some of the
you're.
greatest like bossa nova singers were not even rich. What are you talking about? I mean, if you're telling me that this is rich
I
folks'
know,
music,
but
then
at
why
least
are
they're from
these singers
Brazil. You know
not
what I'm
rich,
saying? Yeah, I know, but at least
families?
they're from Brazil. At least they're from, Ibiza in Spain or whatever. Not from freaking Sasa. I mean, come on. It's like, I mean, I have nothing against it. I'm just saying I'm not nothing against it. I'm just saying it's just
Dude, you
at the
do have
time.
something against it. You do
No,
have
no,
something against
no,
people from
no,
Sa.
no, because
From the
at the
way it
time
sounds.
it just doesn't sound like their music. I mean,
It's a good thing I don't live in Sa. I live in Obrero. Oh my
that's
God.
it sounds
Thank
like
God for
it
that.
sounds like Huna music. That's something Huna music, Huna people would listen to. Not Sa. Come on.
Oh, this guy's elitist.
No, I'm not. I just know. I think that's it confused me because I was like,
Dude, hang on.
my mom doesn't listen to this
Do
shit.
not hey, hang on. Do not underestimate Sa. Dude, Insular Village is in Sa, right? What are you talking
No,
about? Are you
it's
kidding
not.
me?
It's
Dude,
borderline. It's
Nova
still Lanang.
Tierra.
It's still
John is from
Lanang.
Nova Tierra, right?
Lanang is
John, are you
still
from Nova
no.
Tierra?
Jong is from It's not from Nova Tierra. It's still Lanang. Still Lanang.
That's not Sa.
Nope.
I think it's already Sa.
You know when you're in Sasa already? It starts to smell like copras. Once it starts to smell like copras, okay, I'm Sasa na tamay.
Oh,
Copras na
that's
ni. I'm just like, I mean, I'm kidding, all right? I mean, Sasa people will start stabbing me and stuff. I mean, I'm just kidding, but I'm just, you know what I
please
mean?
do.
Like
Please
at
do.
at the time when I was in college, it's like I noticed that there were and I'm not accusing anybody of being pretentious because, like I told you, a lot of my rich friends, their kuya listened to that music, hung out at this place, so they didn't know any better. They were not exposed to Cynthia's Lechon like I was. They weren't exposed to EO Flyover. They weren't exposed to Bohol Beach. They weren't exposed to, Stag and all that crappy places I hang out at. All right. So I can't really say. I mean, if they know Mike Francis, then they know Mike Francis. But for some reason, they couldn't influence me to
All right.
like
I
it.
understand.
Like
I
I
get
don't
that.
hate
I
I
get
don't
that.
hate it. Like if I hear it at a restaurant, fine, sets the mood. But certainly not something I would like have headphones on and go, oh shit, yeah, I can totally relate. Like, nah, it's too. I don't like.
What, like
I'm
when you
not the
talk
target
about music,
market.
you're
I'm
set.
not.
Like
I'm
you,
not.
because to me, I'm like it
I'm not the
depends.
target
Like for example,
market. No.
even in my car, like if it's a rainy day, I don't listen to like hip hop stuff, right? I would go to my other music library. Like I would find those songs from what's
Okay.
that? You Were There, those type.
Yeah, you're relaxing stuff.
Heaven knows.
My
You know what I'm
relaxing
saying?
stuff my relaxing stuff is like like ballads from like Depeche Mode, Enigma, Massive Attack, stuff like that, like the really kind of weird movie. That's my relaxed music. That's
Are you
my
sure it's not
yeah.
Beastie Boys?
Beastie Boys. No, Massive
That's not your
Attack.
relaxed music.
No, man. Are you kidding me? Intergalactic.
Oh,
No,
that
no, no.
relaxes you. I'm like,
That
what
would
the
piss
heck?
me off. That's like Beastie Boys is exactly the song that a parent cannot stand. Like I was watching the music video of Intergalactic, and I was like, I was showing it to Raj, and Raj was like, just looking at that robot thing, the music video with because they were really big when I was in high school, and I'm like, shit, I can't listen to this crap no more.
Intergalactic.
I can't listen to this crap no more. Like I used to listen to that crap. I can't listen to this crap no more. Like you know what my favorite song is now? My favorite song, my favorite song. I wouldn't say it's my favorite
What's your
song,
favorite song now? Honestly,
but
like
okay, I can't
for
play it.
real.
So and it's from a boy band. It's this guy who came from a boy band. He's gone solo. He's dated some celebrities. He's British. He's young. So you're probably
Right.
thinking, what the heck would I
You
like
talking
that?
about Dave
But
Styles? I don't know, like Harry
yeah.
Styles. Is this Harry Styles?
I like it, man. It's friggin' catchy. That
Harry
one
Styles?
and
Is that Harry Styles?
yes, that one and Heat Wave
He doing.
from okay,
All
hold
right,
on.
I'll listen to that. What's the title of that song? Like, because I didn't
As
get
it was,
anything except the
as it was, as it was.
As it was.
No, as it
It's gonna be hard to search it. If I ask my wife, like, because I think, because I think my wife listens to Harry Styles.
Dude,
So
that's
if I
how we
tell
did
her,
it back then.
you know that Harry Styles song, like, how does it go? Well, Rod sang it like, that would be hard. That would be hard for her to figure out. So
The band
as it
Superman.
was, all right.
Dude, we're DJs. We're supposed to know that stuff. I had people call me back then and they would like hum it because we didn't have Google or anything. So you should know that. But that's my favorite now. As it was
The other
from
one's
Harry
like
Styles.
Heat Wave.
Heat Wave from
That's Stay Calm. What do you?
oh my god, that's a good
you want
song.
Stay Calm?
And na 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 na.
That's
Jeez.
Take on Me, or are you saying like
Glass Animals.
that's Take on
Glass
Me?
Animals. Heat Wave from Glass Animals. I love that
All
song.
right,
It's
okay,
actually not really a song. It's more of like a house
all
kind of
right,
like
cool.
and yeah, I like that song. So
Okay, I'll find that. I'll go to my Prime Music. Harry Styles, right? As it was.
and down and on and known as it was. Listen to it, dude. It's freaking catchy, and I like the lyrics. I like the lyrics. I like the song. And
Holy shit! It's actually on my Prime Music.
it should be as well. It should as well. It should. I told you, man. If they play it on radio, it's not like it's a.
This one?
Hey, we're gonna get copyright.
I
That's the
mean, look,
one.
I mean, that's the one. This is the one, right? All
That's
right,
the one.
okay.
That's the
All
one.
right. Add it to my
Um,
library.
Add it to your library, dude. Because I mean, enough of that Mike Francis pretentious bullshit. You know, I mean, it's.
No, it's
I
not.
mean,
It's a really cool song. I still listen to it up to now.
you
I
ride the
was just
jeep.
listening to it.
You
I was
you
just
ride
listening
the
to
jeep.
it just
You're,
2 hours ago.
you're eating quick. There's nothing in your life that could make you relate to Mike Francis's music. Absolutely nothing. Right?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
You watch Ghost Fighter. I mean, like back in the day when we were listening to that. You watch Ghost Fighter. I mean, you hang out at
Let me in,
Helen's.
friends. Da-da-da-dun, dun, dun,
I know.
dun. Take me to the top. Na 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 na.
That's like
Da,
rich
da, da,
people's.
da,
That's
da.
for that's for people back then who were hanging out like at lounge bars. You know, like where the DOMs hang out. We weren't DOMs back then.
I never hung
We
out at
weren't-
the
we were
lounge
not-
or something. I listened to it in my tita's room. It was nice.
It's not, dude. Come on. It was nice because you. It was nice.
Why?
because it was-
I wasn't in a lounge. I wasn't hanging out with those
you-
pretentious
you
people.
haven't expanded your musical horizon yet back then. I mean, I look back at some of my musical regrets. I don't think I purchased some albums that maybe looking back now I'm like, is there any song or any album or artist that I was a fan of back then that if I look back now I'm ashamed of? Actually, no, none. I mean,
All right, okay. Well, yeah,
really
well,
none.
props for
I'm
that.
not,
Props for
I'm not
that.
even I'm not
But
even
here's the
ashamed
thing.
of-
I think I'm more of like I like all types of music, right? But I think I'm mainly I don't know, not attracted, but I mean it catches me, like boy band stuff. It really catches me. I think if you think about it, I think you can even consider the Beatles like some sort of boy band.
You know what killed it for me with the boy band songs? I mean, they, like Take That. My sisters, when they were in Germany, they were big fans of Take That. They would love Take That, and I kind of, and I
course,
love,
'cause they're great.
I love Back for Good by Gary Barlow, which
I
is
love
from Take
Gary
That.
Barlow.
I love Back for Good, and so I also like
So Help Me
Clementine
Girl,
from
it's so
Mark
awesome.
Mark Owen. Is that the guy?
Mark
The guy who sang
Owen, Mark Owen.
Clementine.
Yeah.
Yeah. We played that, right? We played that.
Yeah.
Now, but there's one boy band song that I just like I never forgave. Like once I heard that was sang by a boy band, I was like, holy crap, what the hell is this shit?
All right, which one is this?
There is no variation. There are seasons in the sun. What the heck
come
is
on,
that
man.
crap? What
That's
the-
like
what the-
West.
Dude,
That's Westlife, man.
That's
They
a
were
boy
just
band.
yeah, that's a boy band. But I never liked Westlife. I
I
never liked Westlife.
Seasons in the sun. I mean, dude, what the heck, dude? NSYNC, I give props to. Bye, good song. Even what's that thing from NSYNC that this I promise you. That one's pretty good. This I promise you. That was pretty.
That was,
good.
of course, that was good.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
love
good,
that.
right? Blue.
Like
I also
most
like Blue.
NSYNC songs, I
like
love,
Blue.
like, Crazy, I wasn't really a big fan of Blue, but yeah, they're
I mean,
fine.
but that Westlife, the Boyzone,
You know,
those guys were
Westlife
sellouts.
was like
Those guys were like
those,
sellouts,
like
dude.
Westlife. No, I don't think they were not. What did they have? Like what
And like,
seasons
and
and
like
stuff? It's not
5
even their
years
original
late,
song.
5 years later,
They
they
had
all
like
come out. They all come out as gay, right? They all like come out of the
they
closet.
well, I don't know about that, but they came out with this Billy Joel song like Uptown Girl. They ruined it for me.
I know
Holy
what
crap,
the heck.
that's a Billy Joel song. I mean,
It
can't you
sounded
come up with your
exactly
own
the same.
song?
And they tried to make it sound like, dude. They also sang that song from When You Say Nothing at All. One of them sang that. When you say nothing. Oh my God, these guys.
Are you sure that's not Ronan Keating? Because Ronan Keating has a version, and I love
He's
that.
in a boy
version.
band. He's in a boy band. Wasn't he? Wasn't he
No,
part of
dude,
Boyzone
that's
or Westlife?
Boyzone. Boyzone.
I know. Still
Dude, what are
boy
you talking
bands.
about? Like, yeah, but that version was good. I mean, I love the
Okay.
original version, but I love Ronan Keating's version too. Because that was like from what's that
Notting
movie?
Hill.
Notting Hill.
Okay.
Notting
okay.
Hill.
I'll give them
Right, hang
props.
on, let's
because-
get the culprit
because
out of the way,
pic-
'cause they were like-
because
they agreed with you.
Picture review was actually decent. It's a pretty good
Yeah,
song.
right.
Good
Okay.
tune.
Oh shit, that's true. When you smell the copra, it makes me want to hop on the bar going to Samal. Drew Patel is like,
Hey
agreeing with
Drew,
it.
Dr.
Correct.
Drew.
Smelling copra makes me like want to go to Samal. Oh shit, me really miss it po. Tagos ang copra smell if you're in an air
Oh yeah.
conditioned car.
That's why they don't need to put a sign that says "Welcome to Sasa." Man, you know you're there. I mean, you smell it. It's just basically it. That's when Lanang ends and Sasa begins. All right, that's the way I see it. So if you don't smell copra, if you don't smell copra yet, you're still in Lanang.
So copra, that's the defining, um, I mean the
Characteristic.
defining moment
Yeah.
that would tell you that you're already in Sasa. All right, okay, so yeah, going back to boy bands, right? So, because up until now, it still appeals to me. Like people would tell me, like, "Hey, you're not supposed to listen to it." That's our time. What are you talking about? Like I'm a boy band guy. Like what? Like they're telling me I can't. Some kids now are telling me I can't listen to BTS. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Like BTS is nothing compared to the Backstreet Boys. Are you kidding me? Like
Dude,
now they're the Backstreet Boys of your time, but then
I
they're the
would
same thing. Like
I
I
would
love
listen.
Butter,
Okay.
right?
I don't get BTS's music
Sidestep
either.
right left to
I don't
my
get
beat. I love that song.
I don't get their
I
music.
like the moon rock with me, baby. Right? See, I
I don't
love
get their
that
music.
song.
It's not a very catchy. It's not a very catchy tune.
Smooth like butter,
I know it's not
criminal
catchy.
undercover.
They're- It's
No,
like
because you know why I love that song. It
it's like
wasn't
they just
catchy,
copied
but
Michael
then
Jackson
no, no, no,
songs
no,
and then
no.
they made it
I
like their own.
saw them when I saw them dance at that crosswalk,
Grammys.
and they
Yeah.
did that move with like sidestep right. Like, dude, I'm a frustrated dancer. I can't fucking dance. I want to dance, and I see these guys nailing it, and they're like singing to the tune, and it's in sync with like, oh, it's just so perfect. I mean, Dynamite. I love Dynamite, but like with the dancing, it was like it didn't really. I like the dancing over there, but the butter was like so awesome, and they were like sliding like sidestep right, like I'm like I'm fanboy. I'm like like that's just me because I love boy bands. Right? And people be like, I have friends who be like, oh, that's so gay, man. And they're like, what are you talking about?
No,
That's a
no,
boy band, man.
it's
That's
not even.
music.
It's not even about that. I mean, come on, like what you call it? The Jackson Five. The Jackson Five was a boy band. Like
I
that was
know.
a boy band. It was a boy band. I mean,
Smooth
like
like butter, like criminals to fly over. See how Filipinos deal with this shit. They just
I'm
come up
not.
with lyrics.
I mean,
It's like so funny.
I've heard their songs. It's I think it's more of the packaging really with BTS. It's like their
I mean,
videos are
Dynamite was
colorful.
good.
How does it go?
Dynamite?
Yeah.
Na, 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 na,
Oh,
na, rock and roll.
you know what my
Na,
favorite song
na,
is now? You know what my favorite
na,
song is
na,
now?
na, 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 na.
And I hope you don't blame her for father's sins. All right. Willow.
Miley?
Willow. Willow
Who's
Smith.
Willow?
The daughter of Will Smith. She has a good song.
She has a song?
That's my favorite song. I downloaded it. I have it here. It's a really good song. It's I don't know. I like it. It's and I've been listening. My wife can attest to this. I was listening to it this morning the whole time on loop,
All right.
and it's
What is it?
it's called Meet Me at Our Spot. Let's meet at our spot. This is the one. This is the one. I'm gonna play a little bit. It's so good. Like I don't even know if it'll play. Just volume. It's. I mean, I hope we don't get copyrighted for this, but I'm gonna try to like cut it off. I'm gonna try to lower it and play it louder when we get to that part.
Fuck.
It's a good song, dude. Listen to it. Uh. Oh man, this kid is talented. I'm telling you. I mean, Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith's genes
Dude,
running
it's
through her
like
blood.
music. It's like Prime Unlimited. It's not even on my Prime. Shit.
Oh
Fuck
man,
that. Right.
I
Anyway.
love
It should.
it. I love,
It must be good because it's on Unlimited.
I love the
But
song.
yeah,
Willow Smith.
meet me at our spot.
And according to Raj, it became popular because of TikTok. Like a lot of people use it for their TikTok music. Olivia Rodrigo is part Filipino. She also has some decent songs, but it just became so popular. It's like she's kind of like Billie Eilish, you know. Like I'm not like it's because she blew up. So I'm maybe I would probably like her music if she didn't blow up, but she blew up, and so I'm like okay, I'm not, you know. It's not like Adele, where Adele's music is kind of timeless. You know, Adele is like
Sakit akong batiis after jogging.
yeah.
Funny,
BTS,
funny, Gab. Funny.
Bahog TL Society. I mean, there's so many. I'm just not a. I'm not. I mean, I'm not dissing BTS, but like I said, there are so many other gems, you know, out there that's better than the ones that we are being exposed to. Don't limit yourself to
No,
that.
I mean, no, you know what?
Willow
BTS.
Smith,
Yeah, but here's the
telling
thing.
you,
Back in the
it's a
day,
good song.
who would ever thought? Who would ever thought? Back in my heyday, like with all these boy bands and shit, who would ever thought that Asians would be worshipped like like these gods back in the day, like the Jackson Five, the Backstreet Boys, the NSYNC. Now it's like I'm just proud that we have Asians who are like doing these things. It's more of like wow. Back in the day, it's like you see all those white guys with like abs and shit. You see these Asian guys, they don't even have abs. They're like skinny as hell. They look
I,
like girls.
they look like
But
girls, dude. They look like, I mean,
yeah, but then that's the thing. A lot of people like him, and they're global, and that makes me. I mean, I'm not Korean, but I'm Asian, so I'm like I'm happy about that. I mean, it's not just like white guys and blonde hairs, like dancing in front. It's like Asian
I
guys
gotcha. I gotcha. I mean, yeah.
dancing, right? So
I
I'm like,
mean, you know,
me, I'm
Psy
like,
did
all right,
that. Psy did that. I guess Bruno Mars did that. You know, though he is seen more as like American than Asian or Pinoy or whatever. He does have a little bit, of Pinoy blood, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you're right. You're right. Like guys like Psy, you know, performing at the Grammys. You know, you have
yeah.
guys like
Because like
BTS selling out
like
tickets.
again, like okay, like if you talk about Bruno Mars, well, Bruno Mars is like well you can see it the way he looks is like he's more Filipino than actually like American, but he is American because he's from Hawaii, right?
Hawaii, yes,
So he's
yes,
like
yes.
born and raised in America, so he's an American. But like with these guys,
They're like
BTS,
Korean. Yeah.
Psy, they're like Koreans. They're like born and raised in Korea, and they just made it out big in America. So same with the story of Manny Pacquiao. They're like he's born and raised in General Santos City, walked the streets of Manila, slept on the streets, like in Manila and of Manila, and went to America and made it big there. So that's what makes me really proud. I
I
mean,
mean, yeah,
yeah,
I get it.
and
I get it. I mean, I get it. I just don't get their music. Like I don't like the rhythm wise.
you
Smooth.
don't get Mike Francis, you don't get BTS.
I mean, it's like it doesn't bring anything new to the table. You know, like it doesn't
Well,
stir
because
my
it's a
way.
boy band, of course it would
Like
sound the same.
no. There are boy band songs that kind of
Okay,
are good.
what?
They're
Like
good
what?
boy band
Okay,
songs.
give me a different boy band song, like that's like really different from all the other boy bands.
Okay, hold on. Give me time here. Give me a little time here. There are boy band songs that are pretty good. Does that have to be like a new boy band?
No, I mean like all their songs are basically the same. It doesn't matter what era they're from. It's basically the
No,
same.
that's not true.
It's the same.
There are
Like
boy
if you
band songs
listen
that's
to it,
good.
like Permission to Dance, it's not far from As Long as You Love Me. That's like it's just like right
Okay, let
there,
me. I'm gonna do search. Okay, of
right?
possible. Okay.
You listen to You Tearing Up My Heart when
No,
it's
no.
not different from Get Down, right?
I mean,
She's
I,
on the ticket in
I
the
just
morning, it's the rock
I
and
don't
roll. Like, it's
I
the
don't like the song.
same.
I don't like the songs that go like if you were mine, and I mean, I just don't like. I just don't.
And
They
you know
dumb
why?
you
Because
down.
you know what
They dumb you
happened? Because
down.
what happened when all these boy bands from our time, they were past their prime, and then all of a sudden, like this, what's this boy band like Harry Styles from like One Direction? Like they came about, right? And I was like, all
Yeah.
right, fine. And it really disappointed me. I'm like, what are these guys doing? Jumping? They're jumping on stage. Are you fucking kidding me? They're jumping, running around in their music videos, doing like this. Are you a hip hop artist? Are you a
Uh,
fucking rapper? No, you're not. You're
they
a
couldn't
boy band.
dance. They
Dance
couldn't
that shit.
dance.
Dance that shit.
They couldn't
So
dance.
when BTS came along, like that's a boy band. You see, that's a boy band. They know how to dance. And like you see this
Yeah, but
One
there,
Direction, like
but no, but there are variations
baby,
of
light
there
up my world
there
and
are
nobody
variations of
else.
boy bands. There are variations of boy
Heck,
bands. For example, there's what about LFO? What about 98 Degrees? Those guys didn't dance. They were
yeah,
like a
but okay,
vocal
but that
boy
okay,
band, right?
yeah,
They were
yeah, they're a vocal boy band. Yeah, but I mean, like those. Okay,
not
so
everybody
you
was
talk
like
about
doing choreographed that.
the
Like what about
packaging, the
the
packaging of
Muppets,
LFO though.
Hanson?
Yeah, but they were like, see, here's the thing. See, I didn't really understand One Direction how they were packaged. Like, okay, Hanson, all right,
No,
are they even a boy band? I don't
no.
think they're a boy band,
Here's
man.
the thing with One
Hanson was
Direction.
like a group.
this
Hanson
is
is a
what
group.
this is what happened to One Direction.
The Muppets are a group. They're not a boy band.
Yeah,
They're
but
not a boy band.
the ones you're
They're a
talking
group.
about, the boy bands that do the dancing choreographed shit, those are the manufactured ones. That happened with NSYNC. That happened with Backstreet Boys. They were manufactured in Orlando,
What, are you
Florida.
telling me that One
that,
Direction wasn't manufactured?
no. One Direction were a bunch of kids. They were separate, and they I think joined something UK. Like I don't know if
Yeah,
it was.
that's
like,
how boy bands come
I
about.
know, but they did not join as a group. They were like separate entrance. And Simon Cowell, thought of an idea and said, "Why don't I put these guys together and make so they didn't really
Yeah,
have that chemistry to begin with.
have a
They
sucky
were
boy
really,
band.
they were, I can't judge them because, like I said, I'm not really. I only like that Harry Styles song, and he's no longer part of It's no longer part of like the One Direction playlist, so it's not really a boy band song anymore.
So who's part of One Direction? Because I think
like Justin Timberlake,
Malik's like what?
yeah, he
Saint
also has
Malik's
his own
not
song.
with- yeah,
He also has his own song.
Saint
He's the
Malik
one I
also
think
left. So how
first.
many members are there in One Direction anymore?
I don't
like, what,
think
three?
Are they still around? Are they still together? I don't even think they're still together.
They probably disbanded because
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they
Yeah, 'cause,
couldn't do shit.
Harry
They
Styles
can't
is
even
having
dance.
success. Exactly. So they're different. Their success was different. I mean, I agree with you. The key formula for a legit boy band is singing,
Right.
dancing, looking
Even
good.
if you go back
all
to
that
like
shit.
okay, like when the Backstreet Boys came about, when they were starting out, they were told that they're not going to make it. I remember that interview with Jimmy Fallon, and I think one of the first members, or I think the leader would be like AJ McLean because he was like the first among them, and like all of them were like in the same compound with like all the other like artists in the '90s. I think Britney was even there or whatever. Like they were like in that same like compound or whatever. They were playing
Yeah, yeah.
basketball, and one of the guys there told AJ McLean like, no, you know what, you're not gonna make it. Like you're just like a lot like you've been tried. Like you're the same thing from like whatever in the '80s, like New Kids on the Block and Color Me Bad, and they're like, no, you're not gonna make it big. You're never gonna be popular. But then they still did because, I mean, it's like we need them. I think like they get rehashed, they get repackaged, and like different people, but it's the same. Like okay, you listen to Calling Me Bad, come on, it's not so different. Again, like you listen to I'm so glad you're my girl, I'll do anything for you.
For you.
Dude,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, but
love
they
that
did.
song.
Yeah, but they did. Ooh, I
I
wanna
know.
sex
Wanna
you up.
sex you
Like,
up.
that's legit, man. Come on. I mean, yeah, there's this guy. There's this guy who was like, when I saw him
I
in
love
the music
that.
video,
I love
I was
that.
like, I was like, where are the other four guys? Like, he really looked like a boy band member who like left the four guys like somewhere and just started doing a video of his own. This Peter Andre guy. Do you know that Peter Andre guy? Mysterious girl. And doesn't he
Dude,
look
I
like
love
he's
Peter
from-
Andre. Do
Dude, he
not
looks
diss
like-
him. I
he
love that
looks
guy.
Like he doesn't look right as a solo artist. He looks like he's part of a group. Like
I
he's
only
that-
remember two.
Why
I
is
only
he
remember
alone?
two songs. Mysterious Girl, and that song from Hey Buddy Bop, Hey Buddy Da, Hey like
know,
that's
but
the only song
but I'm
because
like-
we played it at Power.
I don't know. When I saw it, I'm like, where's the other four guys? Like this guy's got to be from a boy band.
No, there was this black guy who
He's not-
supported him. Like in Mysterious Girl, how do that do? Hey girl, right? So yeah, whoa,
I mean, it's just-
Mysterious Girl, I wanna get close to you.
I mean, dude. Okay, all I'm
the
saying
abs,
is,
my man, the
had-
abs.
we had a lot of stupid music back then. It was just like I don't know how people were packaged. It was like try to be as colorful as you can. I mean, it had
Right.
nothing to do with you. It's like try to not be yourself as much as you can. Like that's why they were all seemed the same. And for me, there were a few boy bands that had talent, singing talent, at least not dancing. Like 98 Degrees. That was legit.
Yeah, but I think
of course, Boys to Men.
vocal wise,
Boys to Men,
Backstreet
of
Boys
course.
like one of the
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
up of the echelon, like when it comes to voice.
The Backstreet Boys, they had to make it big because they came out with that song. Igit down, ang imong tae, igit down.
Oh my goodness, this guy. All right,
Was that
BTS
the- was
is
that
more
the first
American
song?
sounding.
Was that the first song?
Yeah, I think so.
Hit song?
I'm not sure.
Get Down?
That,
Was that
that's
the first song?
that's the first one that I've
But
known
but
of.
the biggest
them.
hit was As Long As You Love Me. Even
Um,
though I'm telling,
that's
even I
a
have to-
hit, but
even I have to say
but
that's a
I
good
Want
song.
It That Way was
That's a
their
good
biggest
song.
hit.
I Want
I Want It
is a
That
good
Way
song.
was
It's
their
a
biggest
well-produced
hit.
song. It's a well-produced song. I mean,
Yeah, it's even in like Brooklyn 99. Tell
a
me
good song.
why ain't nothing.
It's
Did you
a
see
good
that? Did
song.
you see that episode?
It's a good
Did you
song.
see that
I think I
episode?
did. It's a good
B99.
song. It's a good
Number
song.
5. Number five killed my brother. Oh, I even forgot about that.
It's a it's a
Chills, literal chills.
it's a good song. I mean, I can say for a boy band song, I mean, even if it wasn't a boy band song, it would probably get more critical
All
acclaim, but
right,
because it's a boy band. Okay, we gotta go. We gotta
all
go.
right. Yeah, well, I get a long day tomorrow. All
I
right,
know, I know.
summer, but dude, the part time job that I have, it's much more stress. It's not stressful, but I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's tiring.
but
It's
but you get
it,
more
it gets to
Jordans.
me. No, 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 no. I'm not gonna get. No, I have to save. I need to buy a new piano for snow. Anyway, all right, okay. Let's read a couple of messages before we leave. BTS is more American sounding, which I think the reason they're a global star. Other
True, true,
K-pop
true.
bands have not broken out yet because they still sound K-pop. All right, I
Yeah.
don't like One Direction as a whole, but individually as solo artists, they have each broken out on their own, and I would have to agree with that. All right, I hate them, but I mean, right? I mean, solo artists, they're probably better off just doing their own thing because
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
yeah,
they're talented, right? I'm not
yeah.
I'm
They,
not
they are.
saying that they're not talented. They're
They
talented,
have
but as a boy
even
band,
Zayn
I just don't
Malik.
like them.
Even Zayn Malik has some blues. That Night Changes. That's a pretty good song. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, it's a different approach to pop. It's pop, but it's kind of like how what the Weeknd did. With his type of music,
Mm,
it's pop, but there's depth to it. It's not like a
right.
stupid song.
So when do we go? When do we come back? Do you have a gig on Saturday?
Uh,
Are you free? Saturday's fine.
Saturday. I think I'm okay Saturday. Yeah, I should be fine Saturday.
All
I'll
right,
let you
Saturday.
know.
All right, okay.
Anyways, yeah, Saturday. But
All right, we'll
Saturday.
see you Saturday. Thanks for joining us. We had quite a we had quite an audience tonight. Like what, nine,
We did, we
10?
did.
All
And
right, good,
welcome back,
good. Thanks.
Jong. We missed you. I mean,
I know, John.
I
Well, yeah,
haven't been
we
playing the
got you
guitar
back.
for so long. I
Drew,
mean,
yeah, Drew.
my fingers are all stiff. I haven't played the
But yeah,
guitar
I'm
in a
so
while.
disappointed. You said that, yeah. I mean, Mike Francis is crap. I just feel sad about it.
It is, man. I mean, it's like I just couldn't say it because I have a lot of rich
I'm
friends
just
who
gonna
are
go
into it.
back down there before I sleep. I'm gonna listen to one Mike Francis song.
I mean, can you
All right,
imagine being in that third year college in Ateneo listening to
it's a
Sunrise
nice
from Kevin
song, man.
Letao? Oh, Sunrise. I'm like, this is a freaking Cali commercial. What the heck's wrong with you? But love
All right.
moves in mysterious
Oh,
ways. That
Julia
was good.
Fordham. Don't
That was
like
good.
that's a
That was
that's
good.
a
I
good
didn't say
song.
anything. I didn't say, like amongst
Julia
that
Fordham.
group, Julia
Julia
Fordham. Okay,
Fordham.
I'm a fan.
All right.
I'm a fan.
Okay, we'll see you on Saturday. This has been the OK Show. Thanks a lot for joining us, Ron Rodriguez, Iceman. We're really appreciative of your presence. Thanks a lot, and
Peace.
we
Peace out to the
are
Sasa
out.
people.
Yeah, peace out. Don't stab him. Do not stab him.